Hey everyone, Ethan with Hey Buck Outdoors here today. We're going to be taking a look at the Elk Ridge ER-128. This is a fixed blade. It's got full tank construction, as you can see right there. Some synthetic wood handle scales that are pinned in there, and you have some handcrafted Chinese stainless steel. These are very inexpensive knives. This particular one goes for about 40 bucks on Amazon. Pig 5, Rural King carry these particular blades. I've seen them around quite a bit more in the last couple of years, so I figured we'd do a gauntlet of testing on this. Some realistic, some not so realistic. Comes with this little leather sheath, goes in like so, snaps over like that. Nice little belt loop. It feels like decent quality leather. I've had this since 2018. It's done me pretty well. You have a nice lanyard hole. So I'm excited to see how this knife does. Let's get into the first test. What we're gonna simulate now is if your blade were to say, when you're resheathing it or whatever, it falls out of your sheath. So what we're gonna do is drop it from a couple different heights. Start with about 3 feet. Do that one more time. Right in the ground there. And let's go a little bit higher, say 5 feet or so. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the blade after those series of falls. Scrape some of the dirt off here. I'm already noticing some minor dinging there up towards the tip of the blade. This drop point's got a massive belly on it. Not sure exactly how much, but probably about 1.5 inches. Overall, definitely nothing crazy. You did lose a little bit of an edge up here, but not too bad. Let's move on to test number 2. Okay, for test number 2, say you don't have a shovel or something, you need to dig a little hole, whether that's to get groundwater or to dig a hole for a tent post, and you just have to use this. So we're just gonna dig a little bit of a hole with this blade. This is mostly sand up here. I'm on the top of a small mountain in Southern California, filming this for y'all today. Hopefully I don't hit a rock or anything. Alrighty. She looks pretty dirty. Let's see how the blade's doing. It's a little bit more extreme, nothing too crazy. I definitely think a camp knife, utilitarian knife, should be able to handle all these tasks. If I drop it out of my sheath, it shouldn't just completely mess the blade up. So let's clean that dirt off once again. Definitely caked on there pretty good. We had some rain the last couple of days. California, I know, right? Crazy. Alrighty, so looking at that edge, I don't know if you can see that, definitely getting to, I would say, almost dull up here towards the tip, which is expected. I mean, that's like, you know, end all be all. Probably don't want to have to do that with your blade. I'm noticing some dings right here at this little angle before it gets back to the straight edge. Noticing definitely some scratching on the blade. Now this is stainless, so it's supposed to be impervious to rust. However, as great of quality as stainless steel is, I have a couple of Benchmades that are stainless that still rust. So I expect that if you're gonna scratch the surface of this up, might wanna watch it, put some rem oil or some type of oil on there to keep the rust from building up if you're gonna be storing this for a long period of time. I've got a couple ideas for some more tests. Let's move on. Okay, so test number 3. What we're essentially going to do is simulate if, say, you were doing some minor chopping. I would say nothing bigger than the size of your thumb, and you slip and hit a rock. So we're going to hit it 3 different times, and then we're going to do some testing on the blade and see how strong it is. Right. And that's just some minor force. Oh boy. I'm kind of nervous. Let's take a look at it. So, interesting result. I definitely expected this to ding the blade up quite a bit. It looks like those last 2 impacts that I did with it hit right down here towards the end, as you can see. I don't know if the camera wants to focus, but it is folded over pretty good in 2 different spots. I didn't get a chance to look at the Rockwell on this particular blade, but I'd probably have to say mid to high 50s on the Rockwell scale. Definitely just from that you can tell it's a softer steel, but nothing that isn't repairable. It's folded up, yeah, it's completely dull down here as well as up here. It's essentially almost a butter knife now. I've got 2 more tests we're gonna do, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, for this test, what we're gonna be doing is just dropping this rock on it. I'm gonna hold the hilt or the handle of the blade with this hand and try not to hit myself. Now this test is not realistic, I would say, but I'm just curious as to the strength of the blade. Just take a look at that. It's pretty dinged up, man. This last test is going to be a doozy. We're just going to slam the point of this blade straight into this rock face and see how it does. Here we go. I'm going to look away while I do this in case any crap flies up. Yeah, she's messed up pretty bad. Let's take a look. These last two tests were a doozy, especially on this blade. I'm going to show you guys here. Just look at that. Our tip is completely gone. I can just give it one of those, not even have to worry about getting cut. Top side of the blade's pretty dinged up too. If it wants to focus, always has an issue focusing on stainless for whatever reason. Your blade here, it's just, the edge at least is just gone. All kinds of dings and scrapes. You could probably salvage this with a whetstone, a honing stone. Definitely gonna have to put some major work on it though. Yeah, running along, there is no edge left there. It's all either dinged, dented, or folded. Definitely, but I mean, that is a very unrealistic test, I will say. I do this so you guys don't have to. Hopefully this was an entertaining video for you guys. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Please do me a huge favor if you have not already. Become part of the family. Subscribe if you haven't already. Quick, free, like, share, comment. Really helps me out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.